there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for joining me today. Today I am participating in an Instagram challenge, and the hashtag that goes along with that challenge is hashtag the number one and then stamp set and then the number one card. So it's one stamp set, one card, and it is a challenge that was given through a Facebook group called Handmade Happiness. This is a group of card makers and crafty peeps that I can't believe I just said peeps. And there's a lot of fun stuff that we do in that group. So if you're interested in joining, go ahead and look for the group Handmade Happiness on Facebook. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that challenge a little bit later in the video when I'm doing a little bit of coloring. I wanted to let you know that the stamp set that I am using for this challenge is this Pink Ink Designs stamp set. It is called Giraffe, and it is a bigger stamp set, but I haven't used it and I've been wanting to, and I thought this was the perfect challenge or the perfect opportunity to go ahead and use that. So I went ahead and I stamped up the giraffe in a Catherine Pooler ink called Sandcastle. It's a brown ink. And then I created a mask and went ahead and stamped up the leaves and the floral pieces. And I will be watercoloring this, and what I am going to be watercoloring with is my Caron Brush Marker Pro because they are new to me and I wanted to work with them a little bit more. And I went ahead and I stamped this up on some Canson XL watercolor paper. So I will be using the markers. I do have off to the side some palette paper because I thought I might mix some colors, but I didn't end up really using it too much. So the first color I'm going to be using is this almond color. So it's kind of like a yellow brown color. And I just put it all over the entire image, kind of spotty. And then I'm taking my watercolor brush and going in and distributing the color over the entire image. And then I'm going to take this gold and put it in areas where I feel like there needs to be shadows. And so I'm just taking the marker first and putting it in the areas where I want it to go. And then I'll take my watercolor brush and a little bit of water and kind of fade that line out and smooth it out and move the color around. And I just wanted to give a little bit more information on the Instagram hashtag. And I've gone ahead and put my Instagram and Valerie's Instagram up on the screen along with the hashtag for Instagram. We would love if you would join in this challenge. All you have to do is find a stamp set that is at least 4x6 and use every stamp in that set on the front of a card. And I would love to see what you create with that. So if you'd like to join in, please do so. Again, the hashtag is the hashtag, the number one, the word stamp set, the number one again, and then card. And I will have that in the description below as well. Back to the card, I went ahead and I'm using for this flower the magenta red. It's a super beautiful color. So I'm doing a little bit of wet on wet here. It's basically wetting the petal of the flower down and then dropping that color in with the brush marker. And all of the images, the floral and or basically everything is stamped in a dye ink. They're all Catherine Pooler dye inks, which means they are going to react and move around with water. And so for all of the floral and the leaves, I've just gone ahead and taken a wet brush and moved that color around. I will go back in with the brush marker as well as some colored pencil. But for now, I am using a lilac color to put in the shadow areas of the giraffe. And so I'm putting that over mainly the areas where I have already put the gold color. And there is a brown brush marker in the pack, but I had always seen people watercolor and use purple to make brown, and so I thought I'd go ahead and give it a try. And I really love the brown color that comes out of this. And brown colors can be made by combining complementary colors, which are colors that are across from each other on the color wheel. So you have blue and orange, yellow and purple, and red and green. And I think that yellow and purple is the prettiest brown that you'll get, or at least the most vibrant, but I really do think it is the prettiest color combinations to get a brown color. So I'm just combining those, and I'm adding a little bit of that gold. And it probably looks a little rough right now, but when I go back in with the colored pencils and finish up the watercolor, it turns out a lot better than it looks right now. I'm going to go in with the eyes, and I'm using a gray on the bottom, and then I just take a little bit of the black brush marker and just a little bit of water as well to move that black color around, being careful not to go around the white portion of the eye, but I guess it doesn't totally matter because I go in and add that with a Sharpie, a white Sharpie. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with both eyes, and then I'm finished up with the watercoloring, and I'm going to go in with my colored pencils. So the colored pencils I have are Prismacolors, and I'm just taking the black right now to fill in the eye a little bit darker. I also take several other colors, some browns and some yellows, to go over different features of the face. So I'll go ahead and take my black and do the nose portion, and then I'll take the black and do the mouth as well. And then I'm going to take my micron pen and draw on the super pretty eyelashes of the giraffe. For all of the greenery in the background, I used one of the Caron brush markers, and I also used some colored pencils and also some Pitt pens. So right here I'm using a purple Pitt pen to add some detail in the ears, and then I also add some details with those pens on the floral pieces. And since this is a challenge to use every stamp in the stamp set, I am using the sentiment, which is only one, thankfully, because I don't think any more would fit. I'm using the sentiment. It says, "Are you having a giraffe?" And then also these eyeglasses. So I'm just going to take some round foam dots and pop up those eyeglasses. I have adhered the card to my card base using a sheet of double-sided adhesive, which I like to use when I am doing watercolor because it is very strong. I added some white gloss Nuvo drops, and that will complete this card. If you would like to join in on the challenge, don't forget to create a card and then use the hashtag on Instagram, one stamp set, one card. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend with me. And if you like this video or found it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I will catch you next time. Thanks so much.